Hey everyone, good morning. We are live for the Teach Better Teams Wednesday Wake Up, where we get to stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn bright and early at 7 a.m. Eastern to welcome you into your Wednesday. We continue to joke about how this is the show that hopefully gives you a boost of energy, a boost of positivity halfway through your week, and also I don't know, like some strategies, some action steps you can take to really ensure that you are continuously carrying this Teach Better mindset throughout the craziness of the new school year that we have just entered into. Katie Miglin is here live with me, and we have a ton in store. So feel free to grab your coffee. If you're watching on your phone, you can throw your phone somewhere and listen while you're getting dressed this morning, or maybe pop this up on your television if you're watching on YouTube, so that you can continue getting ready for your morning. And we're just here to get things started. So we'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome to the Teach Better Teams Wednesday Wake Up, where we get to be live every single morning. Katie Miglin is in the house. Katie, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. I am so good to be with you bright and early.
I know.
We haven't done this in a minute.
We haven't done this together in a minute, and we have to remind our community here, although we make them aware every time, we know it's 7 a.m. Eastern, which means it's 6 a.m. Central our time.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. What's your morning been like? What are you up to at 6 a.m. typically on a Wednesday morning? Outside of course, watching the Wednesday Wake Up.
Right. Well, if it's on a Wednesday, I actually am kind of an early riser naturally. I mean, not naturally. I set an alarm, but I often get up early. I like to kind of just putz around. I'll like do dishes or get, a little bit of work done, check email. I like the slow start. So every day though, for sure at this time, I've got the good old coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Cheers everyone for getting ready for your day. Mm-hmm. Are your girls like up yet for school? What's the timing on all that stuff?
So typically not. Stella, the youngest, might be soon. She kind of sometimes will wake up a little earlier. She does not need as much sleep as the other one. The other one's Harper, who's 7. She will stay in bed until like the last minute. It's like, oh, the bus is going to be here in 10 minutes. You maybe should get up now. So she hopefully will be getting herself up here soon and getting herself ready. So
I was going to say, she likes a slow start too, but the slow start as in staying in bed to the last possible second. So it's good. Good morning to all our friends in the comments.
Good morning.
I do want to know, so full transparency, my alarm didn't go off this morning. So like, I'm thinking of like your oldest daughter, Harper, who's waiting till the last second to like roll out of bed and go get her day started, versus Stella, who's like, ooh, I'm going to get up, I'm going to goof off for a bit, then I'll get dressed, then I'll find breakfast. So if you're listening right now and you're live with us in the comments, I want to know, which one are you? Like, are you the let's get up way earlier than I need to get up, but like really get started in my day? Or are you like laying in bed till the possible last second where your alarm is like, we can't snooze anymore, you have responsibilities?
Right. I mean, I'm honestly always fascinated by people who can sleep in. Like, I know this morning your alarm didn't go off, which is like, not intentional, but like people who can legit wake up 5 minutes before they have to leave somewhere are like my heroes, because I can't, because it takes me those first 5 minutes to even know what day of the week it is, to be completely honest. Like, I wake up and it's like, you don't want to be around me for a solid 45 minutes. So, but look at this. This is funny. Okay, Joe.
Get up early.
Yep.
Good.
Tammy, get up early. Okay.
Start the day. Yeah. Lay in bed.
I love it.
Which is funny, because I think team lay in bed is like going to be perceived as someone who's naturally lazy. And yet Brianna Shaner couldn't be farther from that literally ever. So I love that there's a little bit of balance here. I will say, Katie, and the weekends, like, can you stay in bed? Like, are you somebody who could stay in bed till 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
No, absolutely not. But okay, here's the thing. I've noticed in the summer, like if there's daylight, so if it's nice out, want to get up. So there, I mean, I know I'm crazy for a lot of reasons, but I will often get up still at like 5:15 on the weekend simply because I get like 2 hours of nobody. So like last Saturday, I woke up and I like watched a show, then I like did some stuff on the computer. Like I like literally did whatever I wanted and it was so nice. Cause man, I want to do that at night. I know there's tons of parents out there who like stay up late and watch their Netflix. I can't. Like I can't stay up late, so I have to get up early. Andrea, I'm with you. Like even on the weekends I want to lay in bed, you know that there's a small human there.
Yeah, makes sense.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You
Yeah.
get it. You stay up late. I can't do it.
I am like somebody who goes to bed really early, and it's for this reason. It's because in the morning I'm typically up and going so early, but I don't know. I also think that we're still in this space. It's September 14th today. We're still very much in the mindset of like beginning of the school year for a lot of our community. And there's nothing like beginning of the school year teacher tired. So for those of you who are like, oh, I go to bed early or I, wake up last minute. It's like the fact that you're getting up, I salute you because teacher tired at the beginning of the year is like nothing anyone else will ever understand.
Well, and Ray, you and I now are in different roles, so we don't necessarily have that. But I do find even making plans with like our friends who are teachers, I'm like, so Friday's out unless we do it before 5 p.m. It's like you have like a weird amount of time on Fridays to do something. And then it's like, after a certain point, they're not texting back. Like I texted a couple teachers at 8 p.m. on Sunday and I didn't hear from them until the next day. And they're like, no, yeah, I was in bed. And it's like, gosh, I just feel for you. All of you who have like are so tired right now. That's the worst.
I will say that was our strategy for our Sunday weekly warm up, which is the other live stream that we have for our team this fall, because we're like, okay, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 p.m. Central for us, for you and I, is like the last hour that an educator might be up. But the hope would be that they're in like cozy socks and sweatpants and like totally shut out from the world and just like curled up in their bed watching on their phone. So they're like relaxing before they go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like good time though to like ease into your week. I felt like 7, 8 o'clock on Sundays is like you start to like, okay, what am I doing tomorrow? And then you kind of just start to, get ready for the next day. But Ray, you have always been like a person who goes to bed early, which shocks me that you then like stay in bed. Like that always makes me laugh on the days that you're like, I'm gonna have a slow start. I'm like, that is not the Ray Hughart that I would have expected.
I feel like I changed up my routine a few years ago and now I'm trying to find the right routine. I know that honestly, when we were doing daily drop-in every morning, it was a blessing because it got me up and moving every morning. Now I feel like I go to bed early and then I get up early, but I'm like sipping coffee, answering emails like a bum for like the first few hours.
But you and I are the same. We like to like work in bed, like have a laptop, have coffee. Like that is like in the winter, I totally do the same thing. I'll go get coffee and then come right back up to bed and just hang
It
out.
has felt like winter the last 2 days here in Chicago. So I have to tell you guys, it was 52 degrees. What was it? Monday. I think I emailed all of you if you're on our email listserv. And I was like, it's cold. Help.
I know. I know Midwest weather, all of you in the Midwest, you understand this. But I'm gonna wear jeans and a sweatshirt for a couple hours in the morning, maybe, and then somehow I'm gonna be in a tank top and shorts because I'll be sweating. And then that's literally yesterday. I didn't know what to put the kids in because I was like, well, by recess, I think it'll be hot. I don't know. It was, yeah, this Midwest weather. I love it, but I also hate it because I hate the planning, but I love that we get so many different temperatures.
Yeah.
And I don't like that the sun's not out very much right now.
I know. I'm hoping today, like everything shifts. I think it's supposed to get warm again, especially in the Midwest. So shout out to all of you we're going to send you good weather. We're going to send you good weather. Yeah, I was a part of of clothing pick out for some kids Monday night, and literally it was like, we're gonna wear a tank top and shorts, but you're gonna also put on a sweatshirt and socks and shoes and maybe a jean jacket over, but like you'll take all that off as the day continues.
Right, exactly. And I'm already over the arguments of like, well, no, I'm freezing. I need this like really big hoodie and I don't want anything underneath. I'm like, well, you're gonna not want that hoodie in the
Yeah.
middle of the afternoon. So
May you all have the best outfits as you can head into your Wednesday, friends. I will say, as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn for our Wednesday Wake Up, feel free to share this feed so other educators can join our community. I know that this is a part of a lot of your weekly routines now that you pop into our Wednesday show. So we appreciate that you're here. So fun to see so many friends in the comments. Obviously, kind of an elephant in the room that Jeff Gargis isn't here. We want you guys to know that he has been crazy busy, not only supporting his family on vacation and everything in between, but you guys all know Jeff. Jeff Gargis hates to take a vacation. Jeff Gargis hates to do anything away from Teach Better, even if it's important stuff. So if we all could kind of like send him a DM and be like, we miss you, we love you, sending you good vibes, always a good decision, because I know that he is like secretly like cringing that he doesn't get to be on camera this morning.
mm-hmm.
He's
Can we do a shout out to Lily?
Lily, good morning. Andrea's kids will forever be like Teach Better mascots. Like forever.
Absolutely.
Baby Luke and baby Lily. It just meant to be. But
Mm-hmm.
So friends, we have a lot in store for you. One of the things that we love to do bright and early on our Wednesday Wake Up is be able to talk through some teachable moments. What are some things that we should keep in mind as we head into our day today to allow us to continue to persevere through our week. So we'll be right back. All right, friends, we are here on the Wednesday Wake Up morning show with the Teach Better team, and we're going to get into some teachable moments. This is a segment that we get to do every single week to just kind of get you some food for thought. What are some things that you can maybe take on as a challenge for the week, or just simple reminders as you head into hopefully the best Wednesday ever? Katie, as we were thinking about a teachable moment, we were kind of reflecting on what it means to be in like mid-September, right? What is the environment happening in schools? What are we seeing that teachers are needing support in? And something that you and I kind of both thought through was a important reminder to build relationships with our staff just as much as our students. What are your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Ray, working in the same building, this is like super important to me, having relationships with the other adults. And I think it's so tricky because especially if you're like new to a building or you have a lot of new staff, it's hard to those early days to really establish the relationship. I think those opening days, those institute days, that's where some of that happens. It's like, oh, hey, I'm Katie, I teach math, or like, hey, I'm Ray, I teach right, like whatever. But then it's like the kids come and your building is filled with the people that your focus is on. You kind of lose the focus on each other and on the staff. And we know lots of schools wait until, maybe about a month in to do another sort of professional development day or kind of another like teacher focused day. And so it could be a while before you really are forced to have those relationships kind of built again. And so, we're seeing it from teachers is that the dust is settled, honeymoon phase is over. We know October sometimes can be kind of a tricky month because you're kind of, especially if you just started, maybe you're still in that honeymoon, but if you started in August, you're kind of feeling the reality of teaching for right or wrong. And sometimes it's really hard to force yourself, like you're tired, you've got the stack of papers you've got to grade, you've got to post your lessons. And so it's really hard to be intentional and like walk out of your room and have a conversation. But I think this time of year, especially, is when you find how essential those are. I was just in a building this week and, they were like slowly kind of lingering out of their classrooms, but then a student would like interrupt or, and it's so hard to be intentional of like, just, hey, how was your morning? How are the kids? Or, there was discussion around a staff member had been gone for a few days. So like, hey, are you feeling better? And so just like those 2 or 3 minute conversations over time can make such a big difference in the long term. When there's an issue in your classroom, someone feels comfortable to come help or to come ask if you need anything. And so, yeah, Andrea is absolutely right. Teaching can be so isolating. And, I think this time of year, especially, you start to see and feel that because kind of the weight of all of it starts to kind of become a reality.
Well, and I think that's the tricky part, not only like in September, but this year specifically, as we're all heading back into a new school year. There's still hurdles that existed a few years ago because of COVID and everything else that we are continuing to persevere through. And then there's just like the normal school elements that are tricky about our jobs. And one of the comments, I've been talking to a lot of people that have either registered for the Teach Better conference or had wished they could register, but their biggest struggle is like they can't get a sub. And so one of the educators I was talking to yesterday was like, Ray, I really wish I could be at the Teach Better conference, but my district doesn't have any means to support me with a substitute, so I can't be gone, which is totally a hurdle I know a lot of educators are going through. And this educator specifically was like, okay, so I'm going to only come Saturday for the conference rather than coming Friday because I have to teach. And it's so interesting because I was doing some reflection. First off, of course, we'd love to have every educator there both Friday and Saturday. So it was like a bummer that they can only be there one day. But more importantly, I really see this as a long-term hurdle that, especially here on our team, we're going to try and support as much as possible, because that also means that like the spoiling that our districts may have chosen to do in the past to like boost your energy up in the middle of October, or, celebrate a teacher to come back and bring new innovative ideas into their buildings, isn't happening because they're currently struggling to even get the teacher out to somewhere because the subs are in such a low number. So if you can't get a boost right now by going out and leaving your building to bring energy back, building relationships with your colleagues is actually a resource you have access to right now that you don't need a sub for, that can provide that boost and that PD that you might be missing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, right, because so often you'd go to a conference and that would kind of refuel you or give you new ideas. And we're finding that isn't necessarily reality, whether it's the sub issue or it's a budget issue and, they can't send them because travel is crazy expensive. There seems to be some reason that staff can't get out. So then you have to kind of look within, and there are so many good teachers within your space that might be doing something cool and innovative. Just go talk to them, just go, can I pop in your room? What are you doing? Why are the lights off? What are these things hanging from your ceiling? Just any of those like kind of basic conversations.
Yeah, I know Liv has an entire course in our Teach Better Academy on how to build relationships. So if this conversation is something that you want to like continue beyond this morning, feel free to go explore her course. She's got like 50 modules that you could go explore all at your own pace over at teachbetteracademy.com, literally on building relationships at the beginning of the year. And this is still considered beginning of the year. She talks about staff and students and just fostering a healthy relationship with yourself. So it's a really good course. And if you're an Academy member, you know that it's like free for you. So go ahead over to teachbetteracademy.com for that. But Katie, I was thinking this morning, if we could provide some of those like silly strategies that maybe Liv doesn't even talk about in her course because she has so many different resources in there, of like things that we could go do this morning. Because I won't lie. Okay, so we worked in the same building for a period of time, and the staff that we worked with was wonderful. But I will say, as a new teacher in that building, and even as a veteran teacher in that building, it's not easy to like go make new friends. Like, I know that sounds so silly, but like as an adult, fostering relationships sometimes is seemingly harder than if we were kids. And it's hard to figure out like, yeah, I love that I could just walk into somebody's house and be like, what's hanging from your ceiling? But it feels weird sometimes. It feels like you're being intrusive. Teachers' time is limited, so you don't want to be like annoying them. Do you know what I mean? So let's go through like I don't know, some like silly suggestions. What's been something that over the last few years you've tried and seen success with?
Honestly, like Katie Wollhyper, who we worked with, something like she said, just start small.
Yes.
Stand in your doorway. She had Oreos, but just standing in your doorway, or like if someone has a shirt you think is cute, compliment it. Just any of those little tiny things can be, I don't know, I feel like such a game changer. We had a few staff members, that we knew were new, and that was kind of how I started, where I would just like pass them in the hall and I'm like, hey, good morning, or hey, like I really like those shoes. Are they comfortable to teach in? Just any of those like really short conversations, because then I didn't feel like I was taking a lot of their time. I didn't feel like I was, interrupting their day necessarily. I was really just kind of, it was like a passing conversation. And then over time, it was, then it would be a little bit longer. And then it would be like, oh, I noticed you were out. Is everything okay? Do you need anything? So I feel like you have to really start small with those really small conversations, or just a good morning or hello, and it's so hard to not. I know I was guilty of it. I'd be like, okay, I need 50 copies black and white, like I would like be in this mindset, and I would have passed somebody. And it's like, oh, morning. Sorry, I didn't say hi to you. But, just those little things can be kind of, it sounds silly, but a huge.
But I like the permission of like starting by opening the door, right? Opening the door with a good morning, opening the door with a compliment and a quick question that will have a quick answer. I know sometimes you're like, well, that's not enough. It is enough, because what you're doing is like you're creating that open door policy of every time you see me, I'm somebody that's going to give you a smile and engage with you. And then that like understanding can grow and develop. I love Catherine's suggestion of using Oreos. She says, stand in the doorway with Oreos, and as kids come in, offer them to them and the staff to walk by. Food is a great way to like get somebody talking. I feel like anytime there's food, it's like you can get the conversation going.
Absolutely. I mean, how often has someone offered you like, oh, hey, I have extra cookies from this club, or hey, I have donuts from my class. Do you want one? It's like, that's an easy conversation starter. Coffee, I know, is a big thing. Like, hey, I'm bringing some coffee. Do you want some? Just anything little like that. It might seem silly. And at the end of the conversation, you might be like, oh, okay, that didn't go as planned. But like, it was 2 minutes out of your day.
But I like folding also that suggestion of like folding them into something you're already doing. Like maybe in the middle of the day or in the morning, you're already knowing that you're going to grab coffee. Like that's already something you're choosing to do for yourself.
Exactly.
So hopping into somebody new in their room, or somebody you want to continue to foster a relationship with, and offering it changes nothing about your schedule, because you were already intending to do it. And that can happen in the middle of the day, like, hey, I'm going to run out at lunch. Can I get you something? But it can also happen at the end of the day for the next day, that before you leave, you're like, hey, I think I'm going to grab coffee tomorrow and treat myself because it's Wednesday morning. Do you want me to grab you anything? So you can also have like a great start to your morning tomorrow. Literally the worst case scenario is they say no.
Right. Exactly. You know what I found, the most conversations happen at the copy machine.
Ugh, yes.
Because you're bound to it, right? Like, I mean, you think about it, you literally are standing there making, whether it's 5 copies or 150 copies, you're standing there until they're done. And there were so many times that I like, would stand there, and I would like, it would be awkward because I wouldn't have said something to the person who's waiting for it. And so then we're both just standing at this machine. I mean, we've all done it. Like it's a natural thing. You just stand there awkwardly staring at paper coming out of a copier. But like, those are the moments that you can be like, hey, good morning. I have a lot. Do you want to jump in ahead of me? Or just simply asking like, oh, hey, what are you making copies for? Like, that looks interesting. Yeah. Even if you don't care, start the conversation. Okay, Andrea gets it. Thank you, Andrea. Copy room standoff. Yes.
So true. Okay, the other thing, Katie, that stresses me out, and I'm just going to admit this because it really was something that kept me from some of these suggestions, is that yes, getting started in the conversation was stressful, but then leaving the conversation was really tricky for me. And I'm not trying to say that I don't have time for people, but like I do want to build relationships, but I also can't have it take up my entire day because I have other responsibilities. So yes, I'm like willing to say good morning. I'm willing to start those conversations. I'm willing to talk at the coffee machine or offer to grab coffee or anything in between. But then like when the conversation does arise, I also like need to be able to have an exit plan because I can't like hear their entire life story right in this moment, even if I might want to, I have other responsibilities. So one thing that you and I had the opportunity of doing together was actually work with students on a lot of different business and professional soft skills. And one of the things we literally taught them was how to leave a conversation. Can you like, I feel like I have my favorite in my head, which would be like my teacher tip, but what's your like favorite way to like help somebody understand how to like piece out of a conversation?
Okay, so you know that I am terrible at this. Like there were okay, I'm just going to be completely honest because it's early and that's what we do, I guess. There were so many times I would walk into my class like a minute late because I was in a conversation and I didn't know how to get out of it, which
Yep.
seems so silly because that would have been an easy out. Like, oh, hey, my class is starting. I gotta go. But I just always was like really trying to give the person time and space, and it never failed. It was like some major issue I was trying to like solve the problems of the world with this person.
Yep.
But I think a couple of things. Every person is busy, right? Every person has a long to-do list. Assuming you were talking to someone in a school building or in the world of education, you can assume they've got something they can do. So you saying, hey, I would love to stand here and talk, but I have a really long to-do list, they're going to get that because they probably have the same thing, and they probably actually need you to walk out because they might be like me, the chatty Kathy, and they might need someone to exit the conversation so they can get their work done too.
I love that that is a one-liner that we could literally write down. Friends, write that on a Post-it, stick it in your pocket, throw it on your phone. You can use that one-liner at any point in time. There's
Yes.
not a point in time, any day during the week, anytime during the school year, where, hey, I'd really love to continue this conversation, but I have a super long to-do list I got to run, that doesn't work ever for a teacher.
Literally. I mean, think about it. First day of school, to-do list. The day
Yep.
before any break, to-do list.
Yep.
Last day of school, to-do list.
I
I
love that.
mean, yeah, it's inevitable. So that's like I tried to use it, although I personally was just terrible because I like people. But Andrea, genius. She just always says she had to go to the bathroom when she was pregnant.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. But here's the difference. Andrea like tries to be pregnant as often as possible. Like she's gonna like pop up baby 34 right now. And so like I don't know, like you can only use that if you're pregnant. So if you're pregnant often, there you go, Andrea. That's a good tip.
I don't know. I feel like you could also use it because using the restroom as a teacher is a like kind of a luxury. So you could be like, "Ooh, I gotta go because it's a passing period." I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, here's my like Andrea says shut up in the comments. It's true. She's like the prettiest pregnant woman ever. You guys know there are people who are just meant to be pregnant all the time. Andrea, that's why I love you. We're such good friends. Okay, here's my terrible tip, and this makes me the worst person on the planet, but I needed this. So I like to build relationships with people, but in the busyness of the day, I also like to prioritize my time. And if I had like what I would find, I'm talking in circles because I'm so nervous to share this tip. At the end of the day, it would be like 3:45, but we couldn't leave until 4 o'clock. Like you had like contract 15 minutes. And typically during this time, I like don't want to answer emails. Like I'm so done for the day. I'm exhausted. So I have like 10 minutes to kill before I like go pack my bags and start walking out the door to like get out of the building because I'm like ready for that mental break. I would set an alarm on my phone and go talk to somebody knowing that my alarm would go off and that would be my exit. So either I would pretend my alarm is like a phone call and I'd be like, ooh, I gotta run, but so good seeing you. I gotta take this. Or I would set an alarm and be like, oh, that's my alarm. I have another meeting coming up. And I would totally use that as my out. That way I didn't need to like necessarily be the reason I was ending the conversation, but like my phone would be telling me to leave. Terrible.
So I just want to confirm the amount of times that it went off while you and I were talking.
Yes.
That's all that was just an exit from our
It was
conversation.
it was
Cool,
never
right.
Jeff Fergus calling. It was always an alarm. No, but sometimes it would be. I mean, well, yeah.
Cool. Cool. Now I see where we stand. No,
All
but I actually started doing the same because I was getting really bad at after school. I would like be pretty good during the day, and then after school, we in the building we taught in, we had like tables out in the common spaces. And so I would like go and sit, and it was like the joke was once I sat down, I was there for a while. And there were some days that I would like come home so late and my husband would be like, "Where have you been?" I'm like, working really hard, talking to people about nothing." I mean, it's, like, so hard because you kinda just get brain dead, right? You're, like at the end of the day, you're just, like,
one
talking because it's social.
And you are enjoying it. Like, I don't
Yeah,
wanna diminish the fact that, like, I loved talking to people, but I also needed to monitor my time when even I couldn't be the one monitoring my time.
exactly,
To
exactly.
say, like, I have 15 minutes, I wanna use it as effectively as possible, but, like, I also probably do have something I need to go do, like, you
Right,
need to go grab the kids from school, or you wanna be home to make sure you're there for homework, or you have another drop off you need to go worry about. Like, we
right,
are all busy, so giving yourself permission to say,
right.
even if I can't make this choice by myself, something else is gonna help me make it.
Okay, I love that Katie is calling us out because she saw it. She saw us literally do this all the time, that we would just be standing
Mhm.
talking.
True.
But, Ray, kinda to, like, kinda bring us back, the point of us bringing this up is this time of year is tricky, whether you're new in your building or maybe you have just a couple new colleagues. I know we've heard, there's been several people who are like, "Oh, the person I teach with is new." But those moments where you are at the point where you're setting an alarm and you're forcing yourself to, like, "Okay, I've got to leave, I can't sit." Those didn't happen overnight. That happened with the quick conversations in the hall or the good mornings. All of those were intentional so that you then felt like you had a tribe. Those afternoon chat sessions in the hall, yeah, Ray, were maybe mindless and like just talking social, but they also could be problem solving. If you had an email that you needed help answering, or there was an issue with a student, there were so many times I very vividly remember going to that common space after school and like kind of just dumping, like, here's my problem and I need someone to help me. And there would be 4 or 5 people that could help. But that didn't happen on the first day of school. And that didn't happen the first day I was in that building. That happened over time. Once I got to know people, that trust was built, people knew kind of what to expect from me, and knew my intentions. And so really challenge yourself to say good morning, say hello, in those small moments so that when you need the help, then you have it. You have that tribe behind you. You have the people that can help problem solve. In fact, Ray, if you need more information, I wrote a blog about this.
Oh, whoa, look at that pitch. You were just sliding that in. Are you trying to brag about your awesome blog you wrote? First of all first of
Kind
all,
of.
can we talk about, wow, Katie for the first time in her life wrote a blog? And second of all, is it like out yet? Or are you talking about something that like nobody even has access to?
It is out yet. You can
Oh,
see it at teachbetter.com
wow.
where the blogs are. Um,
If you go to teachbetter.com and click on the massive word that says blog, you
mhm.
can read Katie's blog. Wait, so what's your blog about? Like literally this topic?
It is literally this topic. That's what's funny about it is Ray is right. I don't write many blogs. So when they come out, it's a really big deal, mostly because Carrie probably told me I had to. But yeah, the blog I was actually like one of my favorites because it was all about establishing relationships with your colleagues. It was right after Liv's course, as you had talked about. And it was I just kind of talk about like the small little things you do throughout the year and how that helps for when you need to have a big important conversation.
Mm.
And so, you want your place of work as much as a job, you want it to be a place that you enjoy. It's your second home. Teaching is such a personal place. It's a personal career. And so you want to make sure that you have people that you feel comfortable with and you enjoy being around. And we all work with people that we could maybe do without. That's inevitable, but when you think, yeah, exactly, Ray Hewer was my person. But when you have something you need help on, whether it is your tech crashes one day or any little thing, you want to make sure that you've got people that you can go to and you've got some help.
I do want to challenge all of you in the comments to take on this opportunity to challenge yourself on a Wednesday morning. Try something this week, whether it be
Yeah.
today, tomorrow, or Friday. If you're willing, I'd love to see like a one-liner or one word in the comments to give us some idea of what throughout this conversation has been helpful, what you're going to commit to. Because remember, as we talk about like teachable moments, our biggest focus for this is wanting to foster action steps. We love this like pie in the sky conversation, but what can you commit to right now, Wednesday morning, as you're getting ready to go, kind of like head into the second half of your week?
Yeah.
What can be helpful? What can you commit to doing? So even if you give yourself a little note, like I'm going to set an alarm, or a little note about, like I'm going to offer to grab coffee for somebody, like something in this conversation that was helpful, throw it in the comments. I do want to give a special shout out to our blog department that makes all those pretty blogs show up at teachbetter.com. We have we have over 4 or 5 people that work on our team specifically for the blog department that make it they edit, they embed all the incredible information and opportunity to continue learning in those blogs. They have beautiful design headers to make sure that blogs like look pretty to click on. And I love our blog department. They do such incredible work. So shout out to them and all that good stuff. Katie, we do have a spotlight that I want to get to. So while people are commenting with their commitments this morning of how they're going to continue to foster relationships, we maybe highlight a community member?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back. Can we talk about how my mother texts me while I'm live on the show every morning?
I love it. Thank you, Julie.
Seriously. Hi, Julie Ford. Love you. Good morning. Her text, because, it's not like anyone cares if we just stop the show to talk about my mother's text messages at 6:36 in the morning. She sent me a screenshot of you and I on camera in case we didn't know what we looked like right this moment. Perfect. And it said, so Katie painted her wall almost the exact color as yours, so it looks like you're in the same office. I think you should put a shelf next to your head. What are your thoughts on that, Katie Miglin?
My thoughts are, for, I don't know, the 800th time, my office is not the same color as Ray's. However, this is a point of contention because we did my entire office one weekend, the entire thing. And I was like all excited about it. And then I sat right here and I went, oh no, I think it's going to look just like Ray's. But the thing is, it's not. Like, yours in person is so much darker than mine, but there are a lot of moments, like right now, thank you, Julie Ford, that it looks the same. So as much as I would love to be in the same office as Ray Hughart, I am not. I'm in a different office 2 hours away, and it is a different color.
I just say, mine's a little bit more blue, but it kind of looks like, I keep saying this, it looks like there's like a window in the room, and on one side, I'm not getting the light, and on your side, you are, because it is a lot lighter. But it's so funny, because if any of you had been in the offices, like my office is a completely different aesthetic than yours. I love your office. If I could change my office to look like yours, I would totally work in your office. I just think it's so funny because, our offices legitimately don't look anything like each other's.
Nope.
We should go on Instagram or Twitter later today and do an office tutorial of what our office space looks like. They don't actually look the same, but we do have walls that are some sort of greenish color. So,
well, we work for Teach Better. It's required. Just kidding.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if it was a requirement on the team that you had a fluorescent Teach Better green wall? This color, wait, this one right here. If that was on a wall, I'd walk in every day and be like, ugh.
No, especially at 6 a.m. when I have to go live with you, it would be too much.
Yeah. Ooh. I like that Holly threw in an action step. Can you talk on that real quick?
Yeah. Holly Stewart says, action step for this week, do more personal responses on social media than just clicking on like. Holly, that's so good, because I'm so bad at that. I'm so bad at versus commenting. I always appreciate the people who actually comment and it's take the moment,
I know. If you're looking for a halfway point, because Holly, I really should commit to the same thing you are this week. I feel like my next step that still isn't all the way responding is emojis. Like I'll like
Yeah.
something and put like a green heart. And I just need our community to know that when I put a green heart, I actually mean, oh my gosh, I really love this. You're awesome. Keep up the good work. But I just put a green heart and that's what I meant.
You are really good at the green hearts.
Or like, I don't know, emojis are fun, but then you don't have to type the whole thing out. I should. Holly, you're better than me.
But I think this is a good point. If you're not necessarily in a school or you're in a different setting, being more intentional about fostering relationships, that is really tricky because you're not like immersed in people all the time.
No, so true. I'm hoping I really need to up my networking game. I feel like the last year or so, it's just been so crazy, especially without Twitter chats. Like I'm missing sometimes my connection to new educators and obviously being able to interview educators on the show, like on Sundays or when we were doing daily drop-in was a nice step. But I miss like the interaction that isn't on camera. So I need to commit to that too. Holly, it's a good reminder. I love it. I will say for our community highlight, this is your opportunity to connect with maybe a new face, a new educator that you have not yet connected to, or if this is a familiar face to you, maybe we should just send them an extra boost this morning. If you direct message them on social media or send them a text message if you have a closer relationship with them, just kind of reminding them like, hey, you're a valued member of our PLN. And this can be your reminder to continue to foster those relationships. This morning, we are highlighting the one and only Carly Spina, who for sure to some of our community is not a new face. Carly Spina has been an active member of our Teach Better family for so long, and she continues to not only support other educators, but share her wealth of knowledge as well. Carly is a multilingual educational specialist. She's actually working for an Illinois nonprofit right now, the Illinois Research Center. So shout out to Carly. When we asked her what she loved about education, she says, I'm passionate about elevating the languages of students and families we serve. Embracing our multilingualism is not only a mindset, but also a series of actions. Carly is not only somebody who's doing incredible work in education, somebody who is a positive light. She's always wearing bright colors. She definitely is like the boost of energy anytime you need it. But truly, her expertise in this space is so valuable. Katie, you and I were at a conference together where we bumped into Carly, and I was able to sit in on her session. And I have to tell you, sometimes when you meet somebody who is so positive, so bright and full of energy, that's like the focus. Like when I think of Carly, I think of happiness and smiles and just really good uplifting energy.
Yeah.
But I will say that sometimes like steers me astray from like picking her brain. She's a very very smart educator. I have sat in on so many different sessions of hers or listened to conversations of hers. She has a completely different expertise than I have. I have learned from her in every single stinking conversation, and she has so many resources to support language that every single educator, whether they teach in a general education setting or a specialized setting, can benefit from. So if you are not connected to Carly, she has a new book out just about a year ago that she put out, and she has a wealth of knowledge. So I just cannot say enough about her. So important.
And she's such a go-getter too. We've had the opportunity to work with her a little bit, especially on some conference stuff. And she just, everything is like, yep, I'll do it. Okay, sounds good. And she just is so so positive and so fun. It was so awesome to meet her this summer because obviously, I had met her virtually. I hadn't met her ever in person. And she was exactly what I would have expected, like just a ball of energy, so bubbly, so fun. So if you're interested in getting to know her more, there's this conference in October, Ray, that you could head to, and Carly will be there.
I know. I feel like we should talk about all the ways you could connect with Carly. So like go on social media and connect with her, or if you are watching now, like send her a direct message that you saw her on the show. I'm sure she'll love that. Like,
or tag her if you're in the comments, tag her
so we can so she knows that we awkwardly started talking about her. So message her on social media, follow her on social media. She's going to be at the conference as a speaker, as a volunteer. She'll be such an awesome face. She's an educator that if you are going to the conference and you feel like you may not know anyone, look for her. She will be the warm, welcoming face that you could literally walk up to at any space and be like, I think you're Carly. It's nice to meet you. I've seen you on social media, or I've seen you in the Teach Better community. And she will welcome you with open arms. She's a really good, easy go-to at a networking event if you're looking for like someone to turn to as a first starter conversation. The other thing, Katie, is that she is an ambassador, and we will have ambassador applications opening here in just a few months. I'm not sure that we're allowed to like officially tell you the dates, but it's like right after the Teach Better conference. So if you want to be an ambassador and actually be like colleagues with Carly in that program, that could be a good opportunity for you to connect with her as well. So kind of cool.
Yep. Andrea.
Sorry, Andrea, I didn't say the release date. I just said after the conference. That could literally mean anytime.
Right. Andrea, we didn't spoil everything. And if we've learned nothing about Teach Better Lives, it's that this is the time then you spill the beans and then you go, oops, sorry, we were live.
Yeah, like I didn't say like the first of the month. Like I didn't say that. That would have been way too much detail. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you didn't say it. So
I didn't say that. I just said after the conference. So, it's just up in the air. We'll be right back. All right, friends, we are wrapping up our Wednesday Wake Up with the Teach Better team. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here active in the comments. And we appreciate you sharing this feed so that other educators can start their Wednesday off with, I don't know, I'd like to say some positivity and some action steps, but maybe just shenanigans. It's just always fun. Obviously, as we wrap up our show, we love to do a morning challenge. And there's been a lot of opportunities in this conversation so far for you to kind of challenge yourself to do something new. We've discussed a lot of different ways to build relationships, but Katie, any like challenge that you want to throw out to our community to be like, all right, friends, it's Wednesday. We've been on live for almost an hour. The sun is rising outside my window specifically. Anything to like tackle the day today?
Well, can we say have a conversation with a colleague?
Yeah, I like that. What can you be a little bit more specific? Because I think sometimes we're like, oh yeah, go do this, but then it gets away from us. So if we set like really strict parameters, that's like a really small step. We'll go do it.
So I think I've already challenged at some point to like talk to somebody you don't know. So today I'm going to say it is halfway through the week. Some of you are on like week 2 of school. Some of you are on week like 6 of school. So whatever it is, take a few minutes, just a few, even if you have to set that alarm, having a conversation with somebody in your building, whether it's the person next door to you, the person across the hall, maybe go down and have a conversation with the secretary or the school nurse, but like be intentional. Just, hey, how are you? How's your day? And if that's where the conversation ends, that's where it ends. But be intentional of having a conversation with one person in your building. Force yourself to get out of your classroom and establish some sort of relationship.
I love that. So it can be like 30 seconds long. It can be 3 minutes long. It doesn't need to be any more than that, like 30 seconds to 3 minutes. And I would say try and do it before Thursday. Let's do it
today.
Yeah, do it today. Like if you can find a second, if today's just psychotic and you know that you're juggling 100 things, maybe try and get to it on Thursday before lunchtime. Like give yourself some parameters so you can make it a priority. I feel like sometimes we give ourselves challenges or things that we want to accomplish. And if it has to do with a personal growth element we're working on, it goes last on our list. So set yourself some boundaries. Say that you're going to try and do it before the end of the school day today and see if you can accomplish it. This will be exciting.
Yeah. And if you do, like tag us in it or like send us a message so that we know how it went, especially if you're someone who's maybe in a new building, that's something to kind of get you out of your comfort zone and try something.
Okay. It would be like awkward, I know, and I literally probably wouldn't have the guts to do it myself, but I would totally be like, take a selfie with someone new and tag us on social. But could you imagine going to somebody you didn't know and be like, hey, can I take a picture with you? So like 2 random strangers I know online that are like kind of my bestest friends can see your face.
I mean, if you're gonna give them that whole spiel, maybe it would be awkward, but you could just maybe just take the selfie and
Maybe
then do all the other things
say
later.
it's like a challenge. Like say that
Yeah.
you're in the running to win $1 million if you take a picture with a random stranger today. Like I love this.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like maybe this challenge is spiraling. Let's just go back to the have a conversation, you guys. If you want to take a selfie, take a selfie. Maybe don't take Ray's advice.
Are you saying that we can't lie to our new friends that we're making? Like you don't want to start your relationship off with like a bold faced lie? Is that wrong?
Not advised. Not advised.
I have to say, I'm not in a school today, but I am in a school tomorrow, and I'm gonna just walk around and tell people I'm in the running for $1 million, and I need to take a selfie with them and see how many I can get.
Okay, can you let us know how that goes and how many people call the cops on you?
Oh, I think it'll be good. Like, I'll even like split some of the winnings with them, so we'll like negotiate a percentage. I'm so excited for this. I'm ready to go build relationships.
Wow. Okay. Well, apparently Ray missed kind of the big part of the conversation. So for the rest of you, don't lie to your newfound friends. All you need to do is say, "Good morning. How are you?" You don't need to lie about $1 million. You don't need to take selfies. All of that we'll just let Ray Hughart do, and we'll see where it takes her. I look forward to hearing back from you.
It'll be so fun. Friends, don't forget to register for the Teach Better Conference. We are almost at the point that we unfortunately need to sell out because we are trying to keep this event intimate and small. So we have very limited spots. If your principal has not signed you up yet, make sure you get that taken care of. That way you don't miss an opportunity to get together and foster those relationships in person at the Teach Better Conference, October 14th and 15th. You can see all those details at teachbetterconference.com. Don't also forget, if you have it on your calendar, you won't. This Sunday, we are doing a panel to discuss stakeholder communication. That's happening Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusive to our private groups. If you want to participate live in the comments, that is Sunday night. Please make sure you tune into that. Otherwise, you can get full access to it streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn on Monday night as a recorded opportunity for you to catch that. So lots going on. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and let us know how the relationship building goes. Bye.
Yeah. Cheers.